Hi guys, and welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be going over a topic that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. I've just been really busy doing important work, definitely not playing any video games or anything that have been taking over my life, definitely not. So I want to talk about the future of the gaming industry, and I'm also guessing that because you've clicked on this video that you're also into video games, so you should like this video, so let's get into it. So I feel like the gaming industry is in quite a rough place at the moment. Caused mostly by greed, and you may have noticed that it would be quite difficult not to notice that game prices have shot up quite a lot. But you used to be able to risk spending money on games. Now they cost so much. They have to be more selective of what games you invest your time in and money. It costs so much money to make the AAA games that the publishers have to increase the price, but then the consumers don't want to spend that much money on it, so it's kind of a lose-lose situation. So I feel like that's where the trouble's been caught in the gaming industry. And something that meets that in the middle is Xbox Game Pass. It gives access to lots of games for the consumer just by paying a monthly subscription. That's quite amazing to a lot of people. It allows them to play games that they probably wouldn't try, because you wouldn't want to spend £50 on a game and you may not like it. You're going to want to 100% know you're going to like it to spend that kind of money. This allows players to just try new things, and if they like it, then they know they like that genre. And I definitely do that all the time. There's so many games I just try on Game Pass. A lot of times I'm just on Xbox app just refreshing their Game Pass section, just seeing what games have been added. But the good thing about it is that you have a whole selection of games, but they can just be taken off any second, so you might not have access to it. But saying that, technically the games you do pay for, you don't actually own, but we'll get into that later in this video. So honestly, this is a solution to the game price increase. Lots of games, you wait to play when they get added to Game Pass, so that's kind of but that gives so much power to Microsoft, to be honest. Microsoft can just keep increasing the price of the subscription until, oh, the consumers won't pay this much, or we'll slightly lower it to price that we still maximize our profits. And you don't get to like the top of the stock market without being like that. So if you think Microsoft are like, oh, they're so consumer friendly, they're definitely not. As you can see by the layoffs they did a couple of weeks ago, and they're going to keep doing it. And I do see the future of gaming being subscription based. I could see there being one more console generation. This might be the last Xbox. Especially, I did get the Series X, but I don't think many people did. I feel like the PS5 did well. I feel like that's mostly because of how good the PlayStation 4 was. And there hasn't really been too much with the new generation. Nintendo's not really a part of the traditional gaming side. Like, Nintendo are always going to have their side of it. I don't think Nintendo can really gain fans. They won't lose something unless they do something outrageous. It's also just trying to make their Game Pass available on as many devices anyway, so you can play Xbox games on your phone through cloud gaming, and I do think that's going to be the future, being able to just play any game on your phone. So it just saves you a lot of money and you just pay a subscription. I'm definitely guilty of this, but how many times do you wait for a game to come to Game Pass? You're like, oh, this game looks really good, but is it worth the money? Or there's a chance it comes to Game Pass and I could just wait. And a lot of games do come to Game Pass, so it's very likely that it probably will in the future. Kind of makes gaming guilt-free. Because you spent money on it, you actually want to just carry on playing it. So you're like, that was wasted money. But Game Pass is like, oh, I play it for 5 minutes, can stop. But also the better solution is just adding refunds. Steam does this really well. You can play 2 hours of game. If you don't like it, you can refund it. And I think that needs to be the norm. Like, why does consoles not have that? Or on like other Play stores? That's where like Steam's the GOAT, to be honest. And also I feel like people are falling out of love with the AAA games. The only games that I've really played out of AAA was AC Shadows, which is a really good game, to be honest. And Donkey Kong Bonanza this year. I mean, Cyberpunk that didn't come out this year. I did play Expedition 33, but the fact that wasn't even a AAA. It was made by quite a small team, which is amazing what that can happen. But I do feel like people are falling out of love with the AAA games. You spend £60 on a game that isn't even polished, and then it just goes on deal anyway. Especially if it's a Ubisoft game, those games go on sale quite quickly. I feel like a AAA game doesn't meet your expectations, unless it's like a Rockstar games, bro. Those games go beyond. I'm rarely impressed that much by a game. Rare exceptions like Donkey Kong Bonanza, Expedition 33. So you do have breakthrough games like that, but games with like massive budgets, Expedition 33 didn't. Games like Peak didn't. So I do feel like indie games are getting a lot more love, especially in recent years. People don't want to spend too much money on games, like I mentioned a lot in this video already. You just want to chill, play with your friends. That's why games like Lethal Company, Peak, Among Us are so good. You don't have to invest that much and they still give you hours of fun. AAA games still get those sales just because of the reputations of these publishers. Like EA, Ubisoft have awful reputations, but because people have heard of them, they still get sales. AC Shadows still did quite well. I do feel like the games suffering now, the second party games, the games that don't have that AAA status but like aren't indie games. I feel like it would be quite difficult to get to them unless they're on Game Pass. I feel like if you're not on Game Pass, you are losing out on a lot of players. But yeah, that's like me rambling on about the state of like new games coming out. But let's talk about old games. This has been creating a lot of talk in the gaming industry recently, and this could be a separate video in itself. The Stop Killing Games initiative was created to stop games publishers from making a game unplayable, even if the customer bought that game. And this basically started when Ubisoft stopped supporting The Crew, and because that was an online only game, you couldn't play it at all, even if you spent money on that game. That just showed the consumers the power of these game publishers have over us. We are basically at their mercy. A solution to this could be like as simple as just having an option for an offline mode, and especially for AAA companies, surely it's better for you to include an offline section than receiving the backlash of not. It might save you money and time, but surely your reputation's everything to making consumers go to your game. There's also an EU petition to create awareness of this. Sadly, I live in the UK, so I couldn't sign it. Damn Brexit. But it just creates awareness to like politicians probably don't have your best interests at heart. That's the only thing we can do is just make many people listen. Also, I saw recently that EA just did this with Anthem, so they just did not get the memo at all. This is why this was all being talked about on social media as well, so that just shows they just do not care about us. But it's not quite as simple as I'm making it out to be. Would a game publisher just give the consumers their codes so the consumers can just carry on supporting the game themselves? This does create a lot of issues, like copyright concern. Let's say Nintendo did this with one of their games. Oh, do we just get Mario IP then? They would not do that, so there's a lot of copyright concerns with that. And also, they're using the excuse of like privacy and like security issues, like, oh, we're going to have private lobbies for that. I definitely think there needs to be a meet in the middle for the developers and consumers so that they can find common ground and that everyone wins. Probably not everyone gets exactly what they want, but just to make it manageable and being able to carry on playing the game you love without having the concern that the publisher can just pull the plug on it. So the final point I want to bring up in this video, I can see this becoming the norm in video games and could be included very soon this year. As soon as I'm speaking, it could come out. And honestly, I feel like it could be quite cool to see more of this. It also has concerning elements as well, and that's having AI in video games. And as a software engineering student, I'm trying to keep up to date with all the AI news, but that's a challenge in itself. AI is developing every day, new things come out. I see avatars and Grok, that's like madness. But I do feel like it could be cool, and we've already seen this in Fortnite with Darth Vader. But being able to talk to AI NPCs, that could be quite common in video games eventually. Have like a full conversation. Imagine that in an RPG game, that'd just be so cool. Oh, what are you selling today? Oh, are you going to get this delivered to you anytime soon? I don't know, I'm just making things up. But there's definitely safeguarding concerns. People are definitely going to try to break the AI in video games. So the AI is going to need to be trained very well. And that could be quite difficult, especially if you're like an indie game trying to include AI. You might not have the time or budget. Train your own AI, fit with those regulations, and then because you didn't include AI, your game's not seen to the standard of other games. But AI is not only used to be in video games, but it's definitely going to be used to create video games, and that's an issue in itself. But I'm not against using it. AI can be a tool, and I use it as a tool a lot. Helps me code most of the time. You know what vibe coding is? That's me. Creating a game is not like creating a website. Gaming has a lot more parameters, and I feel like it also lacks the creativity needed and the writing. But I feel like it would struggle to create top user experience for the game, and definitely have like security issues. Let's say you publish the game, and because you used AI, you might not be aware of all these concerns. So the fact that, oh, if you're playing the game and your data leaks, that could be tragic for the player. That's just caused by someone using AI and they fully don't understand it. I do still feel like we're quite far off AI being able to make fully fledged games. There might be something like mobile games or like Pong. They're quite simple games. I haven't seen it be able to do like AAA games yet. When it can do that, everyone's cooked. To be honest, the AI is being used in so much, and fake content's been used a lot as well. I'm sure we've all seen those gorilla like camping videos as well. But the fact that a Titanic game appeared on the PS Store and it was a fake game, that just shows how AI can be dangerous. Let's say you're hyped for this game, and you like they ask you to invest in it, and you think, oh, it's real. All this looks real. It looks like gameplay, but it's just AI creating stock footage. and I can just draw you in. So everyone needs to be aware. You can only tell with AI if you know what you're looking for. I can tell most of the time if something's AI, has like a slight different look, but as it gets more advanced, it'll be harder to tell. And I know like signs of it. Usually it's with text that looks like a bit squiggly, but I'm not against using AI. I use it all the time. I use AI to like create video ideas, and I feel like it can help creativity as well, especially like thumbnail ideas. I definitely use it for that as well. But yeah, there was just some points I wanted to raise of this industry that I love so much. It's been a part of my life for most of it. I just wanted to raise these points up. But if you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. But yeah, see you in the next one.